This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Making a website is so easy, even a sock can do it. Thanks, Squarespace. For some reason, I decided this was going to be my intro. I don't know why, but here I am. Hello, it is me, Kasey, and I am back with Greg. And today I thought it'd be fun to do something a little bit more on the silly side. I asked you guys on Instagram to make assumptions about me, or more specifically, my art or my art process. It's sort of like a Q&A, but instead of actually asking me questions, you're assuming the answer, and then I'm telling you if you're right or wrong. I don't know, it just seemed more fun. So let's get into it. Starting off real lighthearted right away. You sometimes struggle to do something you love. Absolutely. Just because art is something that I love and I enjoy and I've been doing my whole life doesn't mean it comes super easily. I do struggle with art block and burnout, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, art is something I love, and I'm probably never gonna stop doing it until I die, so. Drawing long, wiggly parallel lines is your favorite thing to draw, and it's not hard to do at all. Lol. Drawing parallel lines is the bane of my existence, especially when they start to twirl and swirl and go all over the place. Yet I love drawing worms, a wiggly parallel lined thing. What is wrong with me? You stopped drawing fan art a long time ago. I definitely got into drawing as a child, drawing fan art. I very specifically remember sitting in elementary school drawing Toad and other Mario Party characters. But personally, I just find more joy creating original concepts and creating my own characters that I love and seeing them come to life, because I just do. And don't get me wrong, I still draw fan art. I would just prefer to draw my original characters over fan art. You don't do art. Dang. You got me. The more exaggeration / incorrect anatomy, the better. Yeah, I would say that's correct. It's definitely the reason why I prefer an illustrative style over, say, like a realism style. The more exaggerated, the more fun and silly it can be. And that's just what I enjoy. You know what you're doing. Oh my God, I've tricked all of y'all into thinking I know what I'm doing. I faked it until I made it. You spend about 1 hour on Pinterest before you know what to draw. I have actually never used Pinterest in that way. I don't know what it is. I've just never gotten into Pinterest. I know it's a great place to get inspiration, references, etc., etc. I don't know. I never got into Pinterest. You're going down the muted colors, bright colors, muted colors pipeline. I would say there is some truth to this, but it definitely depends on what medium I'm using. For example, if I'm using watercolor, I definitely prefer to work with more earthy colors, muted colors, whereas if I'm working with my gouache or Posca pens, two very bright mediums, I enjoy the bright colors and the vividness of it. But I have been enjoying bright colors lately, so maybe. You spend a lot of time inking / lining. It's true that I definitely take my lining a lot more slow and carefully than penciling or painting, just because I feel like that process is a lot more obvious to see. If you're doing a circle and there's a little bump in it, it just looks a little bit more silly, whereas if I was painting and I went outside the line, I don't really care that much. I wouldn't say I spend a lot of time inking, but I definitely spend more careful time inking. You pick colors the latest you can. Yeah, I am definitely guilty of sort of imagining how I want the illustration to look in my head, and I know I should be planning them out digitally, putting some colors down just to see. I do have a very bad habit of just throwing things down and regretting it. I definitely should plan things out more. If in doubt, you draw cats. Absolutely. This is actually so true that I've gotten comments in my videos saying all I do is draw cats, because I like cats and they're cute and fun to draw. You are your own worst critic. True. However, being someone with an online presence, I have to wonder, are my haters my worst critic? Honestly, they probably have me beat. You dislike most of your art right after posting, but you love all of it over time. I would definitely say that this is true. I was organizing some of my old art the other day, and as I was flipping through it, I was like, this is good. I actually like this. And I remember specifically drawing some of those pieces thinking, this is awful. I hate it. This is the worst. But looking back on it, yeah, I guess art ages like a fine wine. That was probably a very bad comparison. I have a feeling this has something to do with when you originally draw a piece, you have a vision in your mind on how you want it to look, and when you draw it and it doesn't look exactly like that, you hate it. But as time goes on, you forget how you originally wanted it to look, and it just looks like a drawing, and it looks good. Salt Kasey is the better artist than you. It's true, I'm the better artist. Okay, but really, let's thank the sponsor of this video, Squarespace! All right, fellas, let's talk. It's time you got a website. Now don't worry, it's super easy. If I can make a website, you can make a website, trust me. Squarespace makes it super easy to make a website with flexible website templates. That means you select a template and you flex on it. Customize how it looks, add features you want, and next thing you know, you have a personalized website that looks super good and you barely put any work into it. That means you can make your very own art portfolio, a gallery, a super secret members area that requires a password, make money with a shop. They have 24/7 email support, which means you can get help whenever. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/KaseyGolden to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to assumptions. You don't like your art style, but it's the only one you can do. Now you listen here. I did a video where I drew in 10 different cartoon styles, and I think I did pretty good. So I think I can do other styles, but art style is like this. You know your handwriting? Everyone's handwriting is so unique to them, and you can't change the way you do your handwriting. It's just naturally how you write. I think art style is a lot like that. Yes, we take inspiration from cartoons and video games and other art we enjoy, but at the end of the day, your art style is kind of like your handwriting. Sure, you can mimic other styles, but at the end of the day, your natural way of drawing is like your handwriting, and it's just always gonna be something you go back to. All of that being said, I like my art style. I think I've gotten to a place where I enjoy what it looks like. I'm proud of what it looks like, and thank you for the compliment. I'm glad you like it too. You don't love spending weeks on a single piece. That is true, and it's actually kind of to my detriment. I will sit down and finish a piece for days, avoiding all responsibilities because I just want to get it out of the way. There's nothing I like less than having a piece sitting there half finished staring at me. I just got to get it over with. I will sit down and finish that piece and put off everything until it is done because I need to get it done and out of the way. Now that I think about it, I do that with a lot of things. Video games, I kind of just like want to finish them and get them out of the way, especially before starting another video game. I said that like I had another example. Those are the only 2 examples I have. You hate drawing trees? I don't love drawing trees. Yeah, I guess I don't love drawing trees. Definitely not my favorite thing to draw. You take too many snack breaks when working. I am a stress eater, so if I'm working on something and it's stressing me out, maybe it's not turning out the way I want to, or I'm really struggling, yeah, I'm gonna go eat a cookie. Changing your mind a lot while sketching. You know, I'm a very indecisive person. I hate making decisions. I can't make up my mind a lot. However, when it comes to drawing, I feel like I don't have that problem. I think my biggest issue with sketching is coming up with something that I like at all. So there's not much to change my mind on because I'm either picking the sketch I liked or I'm picking the sketch I didn't like, which is a pretty easy thing to decide. You always do it spontaneously. Art? Absolutely not. I'm one of those people that has to be in the exact right mood to draw. It's very annoying. I can't be too tired. I can't be too hungry. I can't be too hot. I can't be too cold. I think even the moons and the planets have to be perfectly aligned in a straight line for me to have to draw. It's great. You are just a puppet for robotic worms that control you to make worm propaganda art. You saw nothing. I assume it's hard to make art as a job and keep it fun at the same time. Yes. When art is your passion and it's something that you've loved doing your whole life, and suddenly what you love doing is now having a value stuck on it, that can be hard. So yes, it is hard to sort of separate the I'm doing this because it needs to be done because I have bills to pay, and the I love art and this is so much fun and I enjoy it. And that is why I just try to focus on creating videos and content that I personally enjoy. But it is what it is, and honestly, this is the best job I've ever had, so any amount of suffering is worth it. You don't have any ideas before sketching, you make it up as you go. Oh, absolutely not. Lately, I've been trying more and more to sit down and just get myself to doodle, shut off my brain and just draw, but I do have a lot of trouble with that. I definitely have an idea when I sit down and draw. Sitting down and just drawing when there's nothing in my brain is very difficult. Some people can do it, I can't. There's actually a lot of planning and sketching behind the scenes than what you show on camera. If by planning and sketching you mean the panicking that I can't get anything to look the way I want it to and this art is garbage, oh my god, everyone's going to judge me, then yeah, there's a lot of planning and sketching behind the scenes. You secretly like drawing nude pinups. Is that a secret? I've drawn nudes so many times on this channel, yet it always surprises people. You have your style because more complex styles and techniques annoy you. I wouldn't say they annoy me, I just find that it's more fun to create things that don't exist in this world. Take for example, cat cacti. Look at that silly face. You can't make that silly face in real life, but you can in cartoons. I do love a good texture here and there, but for the most part, I just love simple, shapely, fun things. Your process usually goes by fast sketcher. I actually find myself to be a very slow artist. It might not come across that way when you're watching a speed drawing at like 1,000 speed and my hand's zipping across and it's done in a couple of minutes. Especially when it comes to the penciling stage, I take a long time to get everything to look the way it does, and it is what it is. I'm sure I'm a lot faster than I used to be, but oh goodness, I have seen some fast artists and that is not me. It took you years to start using layers well for digital art because you were so used to traditional style. I'm going to say that this one is not true. Obviously, as a kid, I grew up using crayons and pencils, and I didn't get my first drawing tablet until I was 18. And ever since then, I've been bouncing between digital art and traditional art quite regularly, so I don't feel like I've ever had a struggle between the two. I've sort of mixed them a lot. You like to use your toes during the sketching process to connect more with the piece. Have I been doing art wrong this whole time? Toes? Is this a fetish? You like using materials that put down a more solid, consistent color, markers, pens, etc. Yes, absolutely. I love a nice, clean, flat wash of color. Now don't get me wrong, I definitely love adding textures with strokes and paint and things. I'm just a very plain and simple person. No process, just do butts and boobs forever. You put butt everywhere. Fascination for booties. Yeah, it's true, I like drawing butts. I assume that there's kitty fur stuck to the washi tape that holds down your paintings. Oh, there's kitty fur, all right. There's kitty fur on everything. There's cat hair everywhere. There's probably a cat hair on my face right now. I will hold up my Lego creation to the camera and I'm just like, oh my god, I can see like 17 cat hairs on it and it won't blow off. That's just called being a cat owner, I guess. You make 10 sketches to then use the first idea you had. Or the concept you think of first is not usually the one you go with for the final piece. I am definitely the person where I have an idea in my head and I sketch it down, but I think, well, maybe there's something better, right? So I'll do some other sketches, but I like the first one the most. That is to say, sometimes the other sketches are better, but usually, yeah, I go with the first one. You paint without music. You are listening to the silliest tunes while making art. It really just depends. I go through phases where I listen to podcasts, I listen to music, I watch shows, I watch streams. It really just depends on which phase I'm in. I will say though, if the music is making me dance too much, I have to turn it off because it's really hard to draw while you're doing this. You seem like the type of person that draws wieners on dogs. Sorry, not sorry. I will never forget the dog wiener controversy of 2018. There were so many more assumptions. Thank you guys so much for assuming things about me and my art process. How do I end a video with me in it? Usually I just cut to like the end screen. Thanks for watching and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Okay, bye.